Hello and welcome back to Ghosthunter. Today we'll be dealing with the rest of this part of the prison. I do quite like this room just before death row because all the gases that are in the, well, revenants rather, that are in the cells trying to break out. That's a neat little touch. The prisoners are still here, they've just gone nuts. And here is our primary puzzle for this area, piecing together exactly what did happen with Frank. This is a letter from Frank Aglin to his daughter shortly after the murder of his wife. He doesn't know why she was killed or what exactly happened that night, only that he's got in trouble for it. But we know what to do with this rose here. And it's time to get some clarification on what exactly went down that night. I quite like this set piece because it's quite a clever way of telling this part of the story, let you kind of live through it. Like, let you visit Frank Aglin's former family home. Which isn't looking so family friendly anymore. I like the balcony and the view of the city and everything out the window, that's a nice touch as well. In here there's nothing, but it's nice you can go in here, and here is a photo. So let's see what happens with this. As you can guess, we need to pick up some key items and transfer them from scenario to scenario. So let's find what we do with this. It's a picture frame in this part of Death Row. So let's sum up the next part of Aglin's story. The left room's now open. There's not a lot different about the right, so we'll go to the left for now.
It's okay. Shh.
Where's Mommy? Where's Mommy? I'm so lonely, Daddy. I'm no one to play with.
I have to go. I'm sorry.
So let's see what we can do to try and soothe her. There's not really a lot that's going to work, but if we go back in here we can trigger this sequence again. But this time, the door to the left is actually open. This is kind of a weird puzzle. It can be hard to tell what you're meant to be doing at first if you don't know you can revisit scenarios. But when you actually know what you're doing with this puzzle, I quite like the way it flows from scenario to scenario. That's pretty cool. So let's go back to her and see what we can do here once we've picked up this other note. You may have guessed this prison in general is a pretty shitty place to be. Not just because it's a prison, but because the warden and guards are completely terrible in their own way.
Thank you.
And here we get our third key item for this area. Well, at least the one for the third puzzle, so let's head there and wrap things up. This is perhaps my favourite part of this sequence. You'll see what it's loading in a minute, it's well worth the wait. Again, this is probably my favourite piece of storytelling in the entire game because of what happens, so I'm going to leave you with it.
Last meals in Devil's Scar. Priest right outside. He'll follow me in.
It's my daughter I want to see, Warden, not you.
No visitors allowed. You got me and then the priest. Make the most of it.
Is she alive? My little girl? At least tell me that.
Like you care. If you hadn't gone on your little bonfire adventure, she'd be alive. No question about it, son. What I've come to ask is this. Do you feel remorse?
Oh, yeah. No one's felt a pain like this. Remorse? You call it? Oh, yeah.
Then let me ask you this. Why did you do it? Why did you do it, Aglin?
I thought about nothing else. And I can't tell you. I don't know what possessed me.
Does it mean that what possessed me? How a police officer could care so little about human life, I just don't know. So, Aglin, I can't say I feel sorry for you. But on behalf of your fellow officers, all public servants, prison staff, true patriots, and all Americans, all I can say is this. You make me sick, and I hope you burn in hell.
Hey, wake up. Come on, wake up.
What? Who the hell are you?
Just move.
Wait up. Yeah, you know, you look just like... Except you lost your box and grown a body.
Pull yourself together, will you? Let's go.
No, I'm just fine. Professor. That's right, isn't it? You're Richmond.
Who's asking?
Lazarus Jones, Detroit PD. And Ghosthunter.
New kid in town, huh? You got a lot to learn.
Hey, I've been doing just fine.
It's more than just fancy weapons and chases. Your enemies are battling with your mind. Looks like you just lost.
Are you waiting for me to thank you? I mean, where the hell have you been all this time?
I told you we should go.
Sure did, but then you are the man, aren't you? Oh, no. Hold it right there, Sparky! This will come as a shock.
Believe it or not, this boss is actually the second character in the game, and the other one in general, that I feel really bad for, along with the Swamp Phantom. It's much like the Swamp Phantom. What happened to Frank Aglin was not in any way his fault. The reason he killed his wife was because he was possessed by Lord Hawksmoor, who was basically manipulating the situation in order to turn him into one of his minions by driving him basically mad with despair. Obviously, he succeeded. The shock of the electric chair pretty much just pushed him over the edge and gave him electric powers. And now he's completely lost any semblance of the former Frank Aglin. Former proper family man, now just crazy electric ghost. Or as he's called by the game, the Electric Guardian. This fight's kind of annoying because the grenade doesn't actually do anything against him. All it really does is it catches temporarily and immediately jumps back into you. So you just have to kind of keep dodging him, trying to force him to turn, and then let him try and fail at hitting you. But here, you see what he's doing here. He's opening all these prison cells.
Come on!
Or he will be in this next room, rather. You may have wondered what the Revenants were doing here. This is what they're doing here. So let's follow the spark. While taking care of all these guys, I think the game did a pretty good job with Frank Aglin's storyline, but it could have tied him a bit better together with the rest of the prison story, in my opinion. For example, they could have had him be Houdini's arresting officer, for example, because he was a police officer before he murdered his wife. So maybe give that a link somehow in the story to tie the two parts of the prison together a little better. I don't know, but either way, this part of the story at least is fairly well told. And I quite like the way that in the sequence where you're actually seeing his final moments, it keeps switching between both Lazarus and his body, and then between his voice and Hawksmore's voice.
Follow me.
That's a pretty cool kind of touch, especially with I don't know what possessed me. Don't know what possessed. Little things like that are just really well done, in my opinion. So let's head through here and go to the one where we didn't go in the prison. We're meant to be following him, but he's really following us right now. There wasn't even a cable there, I call shenanigans. But whatever, we're still following him, so let's get a little more health, because he took quite a bit out of us there. Now we're finally in this workshop area. So we can finally pick this up as well. Oh, this is nothing. I thought it was a thing. In the recording I thought it was ammo for something, but it wasn't. It was just a tool on the workbench. And yes, Professor, we are following you.
Come on.
Also, I quite like the character Professor because he's quite an interesting character, but we'll see that later.
Follow me.
As you may guess, this is a primary boss arena. So what we need to do here is we first of all need to disable these, but I tried to do it from here to be kind of tricky. Because you do need to do this, but I wasn't sure if I was actually doing any damage from outside the arena, whether it was whale building, because I decided to just go straight in the middle and just do it from there. Because I knew for certain you'd be able to from here, but the problem with this part of the boss fight, where you have to avoid him while destroying his generators, is you can't really tell where the panel is, because it blends in with the rest of the texture so well. There's no like cartoony glow or anything like that, like on most of these kind of games, where you can see a really obvious like big red box. It's just a kind of a fleecy grey. But we need to destroy all three of these generators, because otherwise what Frank will do is, if we do enough damage to him, he will then, or just in general after a bit of time, he will head into the middle of the room and use the generators to recharge while also doing a lot of damage to electricity with you. But here I learned a trick. You don't need to do anything to him really, you just need to hit him with this weapon and it completely freezes him. I did not know this was going to happen when I used this weapon on him. And I was just kind of struck dumb, laughing my arse off at this nonsense. He's just done now. That weapon's really good one-on-one. Rest in peace, Frank Aglin. Again, I do quite like that sequence.
Okay, time out. I think we're safe.
You think we're safe?
Yeah, well, it's all relative, and you need a rest, old-timer. Listen, I need to ask you some questions.
I'm the one with the questions, like, who said my job was up for grabs?
Well, it seemed like there was a position that needed filling. In fact, as I recall, your little digital invention was holding the interviews.
Design fault, I'll look into it. Or maybe he was right.
Keep your job, I'm just a cop. So act like I'm one and answer my questions. Listen, I've been risking my ass to try to find you, Professor. I'm also searching for my partner, officer by the name of Anna Steele. Have you seen her?
Never seen her, never heard the name. Next question.
Have you been on this island for the last 2.5 years?
You know why this prison is important? Have you ever crossed the path of a creature called Hawksmoor?
Worm Boy? Oh yeah, don't worry, I'm coming to him.
He was searching for me, and I'd gladly never have been found. The thing we've just recaptured is what brought me here. Needed hunting, and I did the job. Unfortunately, the evil Hawksmoor is what you had turned an ordinary guy like Frank Aglin into a mass murderer and sent him to the chair. By putting him in the array, I foolishly let Hawksmoor trace me to the school.
And the visit he paid you turned into the Detroit school murders.
These past 2 years haven't been easy, I can tell you that.
Speaking of being careless, you left behind a bunch of ghosts trapped in your lab, just waiting to be set free by some unsuspecting
idiot.
Yeah. And guess what? They did get free.
So I've noticed.
Along with some semi-transparent honey who's currently nesting in my head.
The spirit form of my assistant, Miss Heller. If you knew about Miss Heller and her work, you'd speak about her astral form with rather more respect.
Oh, don't you worry, sir. Your Miss Heller is right there on my list of missing persons.
What was that?
Bit jumpy, aren't you? So anyway, you're trying to help Kate Heller back to life, is that right?
I was. Hawksmoor has her physical body and now he wants the rest.
Why?
I have no idea.
Oh, wait up. You're saying Hawksmoor is after Astral?
Look, I don't know. don't ask me to speculate on what's going on in that foul mind. Anyway, we need to get back to the lab if we're to stand any chance of stopping him.
Where is Hawksmoor? You know how we can defeat him?
We?
Well, you know, Professor, I'd heard so much about you. You remember the swamps, those guys there? Or Colonel Fortescue? You sounded like a real hero.
Life's full of disappointments. Imagine how I feel. I'm a scientist. And I'm replaced by a police academy accident waiting to happen.
Yeah, I think maybe I'll scout for a while. You stay here, please, Professor. I won't be long.
Yeah, primary character trait, the professor's just a giant asshole, and that's kind of amazing. I mean, he's understandably upset, but just generally, he's just kind of an ass, and I kind of like that. But here's our checkpoint, and we're coming up to a fairly interesting part of the game, in my opinion, but so I'll see you next time.